What's up, everyone? This is Everything Media, where we break down and review new TV shows, movies, and music that is released every week. My name is Nick, and today we're breaking down Season 7, Episode 10 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. And there's a lot, so let's get right into it. Before we start, will be spoilers ahead, so if you do not want to hear anything that happens in this episode, it's probably in your best interest to click away right now. So, let's get into it, guys. So let's start with the beginning. I mean, holy crap, guys. First 5 minutes of this episode sent chills down my spine, literally. Those conversations that Ahsoka has with Maul and Kenobi really set the tone of where we are in this timeline and where this is going. I didn't think it was possible to get more intense than the last episode, but this episode already raised the stakes and I couldn't be happier. Let's talk about that conversation with Maul first. Maul doesn't know who Ahsoka is, and when she essentially says that Kenobi had better things to do rather than come here himself, Maul speaks to himself and says, "I wonder if the moment is upon us." That moment being Palpatine revealing himself to be Sidious and him taking over the galaxy. When he's engaged, he retreats and says "not yet," hinting at more sinister planning by the renegade Sith. Now let's talk about the conversation that Ahsoka has with Kenobi later on. This conversation lasted like a minute long, yet it speaks volumes for what's about to come. When Ahsoka asks about the name Sidious, Obi-Wan says he is the Sith Lord that orchestrated the Clone Wars and that he's playing both sides. He continues to say that any chance at getting new info from Dooku isn't possible because Anakin killed him while rescuing the Chancellor, but if they capture Maul, then they can put the pieces together and figure out who he is. Ahsoka asks for more troops, but Kenobi can't because he's going to Utapau to capture General Grievous. Ahsoka asks for Anakin's help, but Kenobi asks to be alone with Ahsoka. Bo-Katan and Rex leave the room, and Kenobi says that Anakin was given an assignment to observe the Chancellor and report his findings to the Council. Now this is where I didn't expect a lot of things from Revenge of the Sith to come in play. I knew that the story would run parallel and even intersect with events of that movie, but I was not expecting this much depth to it, and once again that makes me really happy as a fan. Ahsoka immediately reacts just as Anakin would, which is expected since he trained her. But Obi-Wan asks Ahsoka to talk to Anakin for him. She says she's hardly the person to defend the Council's actions, and Kenobi responds with, "The Council isn't always right, that's why I'm asking for your help." They get interrupted when Maul's forces attack. Ahsoka wants to tell Obi-Wan to say something to Anakin, and Obi-Wan says he will. I like that Obi-Wan sees the Jedi aren't perfect. It shows that at least some members of the Council learn from blindly assuming that Ahsoka was guilty of the accusations against her. I'm thinking this conversation between Obi-Wan and Anakin is going to happen right before Obi-Wan boards his cruiser for Utapau. At first I thought the thing Ahsoka wanted Obi-Wan to tell him was for the Force to be with him, but now I'm thinking about it again, and I think that when Kenobi tells Anakin, "You're strong and wise and you'll be a great master one day," are the same words of advice that Ahsoka would have given him. You know, like I know you're frustrated and I know how you probably feel about it, but sit tight and trust Obi-Wan. Jesse's the last clone of the 501st that we follow. Recently promoted to ARC Trooper, I thought for sure that he was going to die at the hands of Maul in this episode. But Maul spared him, so now I'm even more worried about the future. This sequence really shows that Maul has no interest in fighting Ahsoka or winning the war he started, but wants info on who Ahsoka is. It also shows that Maul didn't know Sidious's entire plan. Ever since he was brought back in Season 4 and he seems disappointed that the Clone Wars started without him, I thought for sure he knew everything, but it turns out he was used just like Dooku was. And what about Prime Minister Almec? When Ahsoka and Bo-Katan visit Almec in prison, he tells them that Maul has been in a state of dread for weeks. He says that Maul had a vision about what's to come and only knows a name, but before he can say the name, he's assassinated by Saxon. But in Almec's final words, he utters the name Skywalker. Okay guys, what about the final fight between Maul and Ahsoka? I mean, holy crap. That was insane. It's all boiled down to this. The tension was so thick in this scene, you could cut it with a lightsaber, so to speak. As the battle rages outside the throne room, Maul proposes Ahsoka to join him so that together they can stop Sidious, and Ahsoka says she will. But why does he want Anakin? Maul reveals that Anakin will be the one to destroy everything, not bring balance. He says he orchestrated the war on Mandalore, just so that Obi-Wan and Anakin would come to stop him. He wanted them to come so that he could kill Anakin and take away Sidious's prized pupil, but Ahsoka thinks that Maul is lying, so they fight. This duel was beautiful. It was the best duel in all of Clone Wars by far, in my opinion. The movements were smooth, the lighting was beautiful, and the setting was incredible. Filoni and his team really knocked it out of the park with this one. The episode ends with Ahsoka losing her lightsabers to the city of Mandalore below, and with Maul being captured. Before being stunned unconscious, Maul is seen screaming for his life. "You're all going to burn. We're all going to die. You don't know what you're doing." I didn't think it was possible, but the stakes definitely increased in this episode. It somehow just keeps getting more and more intense. I mean, I can't believe we're moving this fast through the siege of Mandalore. I thought we were going to get Order 66 in the fashion of a quick few minute sequence through a different point of view during the last episode, but now it's looking like it's going to be a lot more in depth than that. I have no idea what the next 2 episodes hold, but I can tell you that I could not be more excited. I'll see you guys next time. This is Everything Media. I'm out.